Hey everyone. Okay, so I am back. Oh my gosh, you guys. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. This is going to be a fantastic one. So far though, it's been a little bit on the rough side. Because on December 24th, I felt my knee kind of start hurting. And it was like one of those weird, I don't have the paper pad for this. This is a Stampin' Up! Set. And it was like a rainbow one or so. This is the week of my daughter's 31st birthday, so I didn't go with the Christmas theme. And she was born December 15th, so that's why it's the third week in December, but we're not using Christmas paper. So, but yeah, so anyway, so I felt my knee, you know, really hurting, and so Tim had a brace, so I said, okay, let me just wear the brace. And, you know, I have no time for this kind of drama. So I ignored it. I ignored it. And I figured I'll get to the doctor. Well, I called my doctor and she says, you need to go to the ER because, well, the receptionist said you need to go to the ER because the doc's not in until the 5th of January. And there's nothing she can do for you anyways. That's what she says too. There's nothing she can do for you anyways. So just go to the ER. And I was like, alright. I'm like, someone had a bad Christmas. I will tell you that much. Someone had, and that's how come I didn't say anything back to her. I wasn't mean back to her because I'm thinking if on the 26th you're working and you're this angry, I'm like, you have problems. Maybe your stocking didn't get filled. I don't know, but I'm going to give you your time. You go, girl. You're fine. So, but she was very, very mean. And I thought, okay, that's fine. That's fine. So let it go. It's all good. And so I did. So I was very proud of myself. I didn't even, you know, no meanness from me came out of my mouth. So we were good. And, so anyway, so then on the 27th, and then it was the 28th, and then I was like, well, we have our retreat. My mom and I had our retreat the 28th, or 29, 30, 31st. We had our retreat. So I was like, I have no time to go to the doctor, so no, I'm not going. So I didn't go until the January 2nd. So I went January 2nd, and I went at night because I figured less people, because I went during the day and there was like a ton of people. And I was like, well, I'm not doing that. So I didn't want to wait. And so I didn't wait. And so I went back that night. And the doc on duty, you know, it sucks is that you get doctors who just should retire. You know, or they lose their empathy and they lose their sense of, you know, like they lose something. And I think it's because, you know, there's a lot of people who try and abuse the system or whatever it could be. I don't know. But all I know is when you start not caring about people or your patients or just want a paycheck, it's time to just find a different job. You know, go be an exotic dancer. I don't know. You know, this dude he was just too much. And so he did an x-ray, which we all know an x-ray is not going to show what was wrong with me because it was all internal. So I knew what the outcome was going to be, but I had to start off somewhere, right? And so so I did, and he came back. I was in the room where he could the triage room. And they take your blood pressure and all that stuff, right? And so he came in, he squeezed my knee, and like I was a melon, and was like, okay, well, get her a x-ray, and then walked away. Then I get my x-ray, and I never even sat in a room. I sat in the waiting room, and I was like, okay, you know, I didn't care. I had my book. As long as I had my book or my phone, I'm okay. So it didn't bother me. And so, little things, right? I just don't care. And, so then, 2 hours later, I get the nurse comes and gets me and takes me back to the room and says, okay, it's my discharge papers. And I'm like, oh, okay. She's all, I'm going to put ACE bandage. It's a bad sprain. I was like, okay, no problem. So Doc just pulls back the curtain a little, says, just, you know, if you have pain in a week or so, just follow up with an ortho, and then leaves. And I'm like, oh, alrighty. So, so he left, and it was like, okay, you're good. I was like, okay, so I left. No problem. They said, oh, but we sent you a prescription to your pharmacy. Pick it up tomorrow, because it was like, you know, midnight, 12:30 when I got discharged. They said, go pick it up in the tomorrow at the pharmacy. And I said, okay, no problem. So I was like, all right. So Tim was at, that was, okay, so that day, yeah. So that day was a sew day at, oh my gosh, it totally bugged out. It was a sew day at the Guild again. You know, we got together right on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but then at this point it was Wednesday, which is 1, 2, 3 is the 3rd, right? And so it was the 3rd of, so the 2nd I went to the ER, the 3rd I went to my Guild meeting in the morning, and then Tim gets off work at 8. The pharmacy doesn't open till 9. So he says, do you want me to wait around, you know, kill some time? And I said, no. I'm going to be with my mom, so I'll be able to go pick up my medication. So he goes, okay. And so I drove over to get my medication, and no problems. I get my medication. I turn to say bye to, I know the ladies behind the counter who do the prescriptions. I know them, so I turned to say Happy New Year, and I only turned my hips, not my legs, just my hips, and I was like, bye, and then Happy New Year, and then I turned around, I took a step, and that was it. I was like, I felt it give out. My knee gave out, but I did not fall, because I was like, I am not falling down. But you know, if I couldn't handle pain, I would have fell. So I totally would have fell down. And so, yeah, so my knee gave out. And I was in so much pain, but I was like, okay, this really, really, really hurts. So I turned down the aisle. I couldn't put weight on my leg at all. So I am trying to nonchalantly, you know, not look like I am about to pass out or look like I am hurt, but at the same time, I cannot put weight on my leg. And so I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? So it took me 15 minutes to get from one end of the aisle to the next, because I was holding on for dear life to the shelving units. And I was like, okay, ooh, what happened here? I was in so much pain. I was like, holy crud. It was like contractions time, right? I'm like, the contractions are coming, but it's all centered in my knee. And I was like, okay, it's not going to hold up my weight on its own, so I got to hold on. So I got to the edge of the aisle, and then I see an acquaintance who's working behind the counter of the bakery. That's where she works. And we're always friendly, and she always asks about the kids and stuff like that, you know. But I say acquaintance. I can't say friend because I don't know her last name. I don't hang out with her. We just, you know, talk, chit-chat when I'm at the store. And so I called her over. I go, hey, do you mind, can you go grab me a shopping cart? And she looks at me, she goes, yeah, no problem. So she ran and got me a shopping cart, and I came back around, and so this was one side of the table, that was the other side of the table. So we had quite a bit of people there for her 30th birthday. And so I was like, okay, so she brought me the shopping cart, and I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? And I'm like, just, you know, nonchalantly, la, 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 la. And trying not to look too stupid while walking, because I look like a freaking zombie trying to drag my leg. And so I was like, yeah. So I finally get out of the store. It took me about, 45 minutes, you guys, to actually get to my car. Because, okay, so where the building is, I park around the corner. And so, well, I have this thing about shopping carts. It's a pet peeve of mine when people just freaking put the shopping cart, like on the curb, or, just leave it there in the front of the cars. And I'm like, how lazy, how absolutely lazy do you have to be to do that and not put it back in a stall? You walked all this way, you walked all inside the grocery, let's just say Costco. You walked all of Costco, got all these groceries, everything else. You walked, and then you walked to your car, unload your car, and everything else with this basket. So you did all the work, but then you go and unload your cart and just leave it there. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys, that is such a pet peeve of mine. It really is. It's just a pet peeve of mine. So I could not do it. I could not, even hurt, I could not leave my shopping cart. So my car is parked around the corner, but the shopping stall is over here. And I know that there's not a shopping cart stall near my car. So I left the cart and I had to cross the street, right? And I'm like, oh my God, that took another 15 minutes, you guys, for me to walk from where the shopping cart stall was at to my car. That's how pet peevey I am about that, because it's just laziness, and I hate laziness. I hate laziness. I really do. For something so simple, why do you do that? I hate it. And so, oh yeah. And so anyways, can you tell I really hate it? And so, but yeah, and so, it's this one, yeah. And so I was like, okay, so yeah, so I put the shopping cart away. I had to drag myself to my car, and by the time I got in my car, it was pouring down rain. Okay, it was pouring down rain. So, and I have shorts and my Crocs and my t-shirt on. So, but I'm like, I am sweating buckets trying to drag my leg to my car. And so I was just like, oh my God, I'm dying here. And I'm trying to look nonchalant, looking at my phone, you know, kind of like pretending as if I'm, you know, not ready to curl up in a ball. And so I'm like, please no cars come, please no cars come. And so no cars came, because I'm like, there ain't no hurrying up, sorry buddy. And so I was like, oh shoot. So yeah, so I was just dying. Well, when I got in the car, I called Tim. I go, oh my God, my knee gave out. I said, I am in so much pain. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, I was a 25. Okay, so I was a 25. And he said, just go to the ER. Just go to the ER right now. And I said, okay, I'll go. So he goes, I'll meet you over there. And I go, okay. So I drove to the ER. Couldn't even get out of my car, you guys. So because we're a first responder family, and because this was a small town and we grew up here, we know a lot of the people, because the people you went to school with are now nurses and doctors and stuff like that. So it's still a small town in a way. You don't get special treatment, but I did call one of the wives, the firefighter wives, and I said, hey, is there anybody who can help me get out of my car? Tim's on his way, but it'll be a while. I can't get out of my car. I can't. I'm in so much pain. She's like, yeah, let me call. And so she called the ER, and they had someone come out and get me in the wheelchair and stuff. And so so they came and they got me, and I was just like, holy crap, I'm in pain. Well then, okay, so then they get me in. The doctor that was on duty was a better doctor, right? And he knows Cheyenne and he knows Tim, and so he was like on it, and he's like, okay, we'll get you an MRI. He's all, but the only problem is there's only, you know, an MRI, only one person who does an MRI here, and she's pretty packed, so let me find out what's going to happen. And we're like, okay. And then he says, okay, she can get you in here at 5:30, so come back. And it was like, okay, no problem. So so then we ended up going back, and at 5:30, but I got, you know, I didn't want to go stinky, so I took a shower. Well, I had crutches, because this doctor put me in a brace, put me in an actual knee brace, real one, not an ace bandage, and he also put me on crutches. So first time ever on crutches, you guys. Yeah, first time ever. That was weird. This is weird. And so so then I'm, you know, I'm like, okay, so I get home, trying to figure out how to use the crutches, but really have to take a shower, because I'm really bad about, you know, like, I need to have a shower, you know. And so, well, we were not expecting the water on the floor from the babies, and so I slipped. I slipped and I twisted my knee even more. So by the time we got to the ER again, I was at a 35 in pain, and I was like, give me anything. I was like, you know, contractions where you're like, okay, give me the epidural, you know. That's where I was at. I was in so much freaking pain that I was like, just give me everything. And so they gave me some, and I don't do painkillers, you know, I don't do that kind of stuff, but I was like, give it to me, because it was so painful, you guys. And so I got my MRI, and then they sent me home, and next day I get the results, because I mean, it was, you know, the radiologist had already left for the day, because it was 5:30 when I got my MRI, 6 o'clock by the time I was done and everything else. So the radiologist is gone for the day. So no problem, gonna go home. So the pills only, I guess they gave me Percocet, and I guess that's a really strong narcotic. Well, it barely touched it. You know, it got me down to 20. So, you know, manageable, you know, manageable. So it was like, don't move my leg, don't do anything. So the next morning, I get a call that says that I have a torn meniscus, interior and posterior. So yeah, so I tore my meniscus. So I was like, okay. So they said, get to, you know, an ortho. Okay. This was Wednesday, so Thursday. So called Thursday to orthos, and the one could get me in on Monday, one could get me on Wednesday. So we took the Monday one. So that was yesterday. Today is Tuesday. Yeah, today's Tuesday. And so I went to the ortho yesterday. He says that it's torn, but it's not torn off. It's not sheared off, which is good. It would just be flapping in the wind, but it actually, is it good? Is it not? You know, because it's like, it's not sheared off, but it's hanging by a thread, basically. And so he would need to go in and repair it. So it was like, okay, so I'm gonna have surgery to fix my torn meniscus. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the most pain I've been in since giving birth to 2 kids, but I'd rather give birth to 2 kids with no anesthesia. It was so painful that day. It was so painful that day. I was like, holy crud. You know, you're trying to, you know, just not show that you're in so much pain, but you're like kind of breathing a little heavy. Like you just ran up 16 flights of stairs and you're like, whoa, okay. Oh, no, I'm good, doc. I'm good. It hurts. Yes, it hurts, but I'm good. So, yeah, so I was just like, holy crud, this is the worst pain ever. So, yeah, worst pain of my life right now is that little freaking knee. The little knee is almost took me out. So, oh gosh, you guys. So, but yeah, so actually I need surgery. They're supposed to do surgery next week, but my mom and I have, rode to California. This is something we planned last year, you know. So I am going to not do the surgery next week, and I'm going to wait another week, because I am not going to let my mom down for, you know, she's been looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to this. I will just buck it up and take care of myself and go. So yeah, so I am planning on flying to LA and walking around the road to California. So wish me luck, you guys. So yeah, wish me luck. We'll see how this goes. But, you know, whatever. You gotta do what you gotta do. So, and my mom is important, and, you know, and this was her day out, and we're only gone for the day. We'll be back the next day, so I'll just postpone surgery an extra week, and that's not a big deal. It's not like, you know, it hurts, but it's not like it's, you know, like it was. So it's okay. I'm functional. But anyway, so that was my story about that. That is where I'm at in life, and it's too funny. So let's get to the fun stuff. So my daughter is getting married, as you know, and she picked the venue, and she picked the date, and the date is December 7th, 2024. And the venue is beautiful. It's up her alley. It's exactly what I wish I could own. And yeah, it's, you know, it's beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful sight. It's going to be a beautiful wedding. It's December 7th, but there's a backup plan in case it rains, which we will all be crossing our fingers that it doesn't. So, yeah. This is us at Gilroy Gardens. Well, I don't think it's called, is it called Gilroy Gardens still? It used to be called Bonfanti Gardens. Then it became Gilroy Garden. I think it's still Gilroy Gardens, but it's ran by Six Flags. It's in Gilroy, California. And it's mainly a kids park, but the rides you can put adults on, and we got free tickets. And so that's where we said, okay, let's go. And these kids are just amazing. My kids are amazing. And so we had a great time. This is the story I told you about last year about how that kid spit on me and the parents were, you know, being really stupid and sarcastic and everything else. So, yeah, this is this day. But we will forget about that because it's so annoying. It's still so annoying that I didn't get to tell the parents off. So I'm like, oh my gosh, Timothy, get out of the way. He would not let me out of that cart. So, yeah, hold on one sec. So anyway, so, yeah, so we'll forget about that right now. But anyway, so, yes. She's going to go, her, like, I think I told you guys last time, her bridesmaids, did a, booked a place that does Disney-inspired wedding dresses. And so she's going to go get to do that, I think, in 2 weeks or so. And then there's a bridal expo in San Jose, California, that she wants to go to. And so she said, you know, she asked if I could go too. And I said, yeah. So, if the surgery he's going to do, there's 2 options, but it's kind of like an exploratory surgery to see what he's going to do. So either one is clean it all out and, put stitches in it and everything else to repair it, or if he sees something where it doesn't need stitches and doesn't need repairing, then, you know, so he has 2 options he's looking into, but he won't know until he's in there. And so, so one of them will take 6 to 8 weeks with me on crutches to get better. And the other one should be fairly quicker. So, but he is saying that if I do the one that's going to require me to be on crutches for 6 to 8 weeks, then in the long term, I'll be better for it. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Because considering we won't have insurance, well, we'll only have, you know, what, when Tim retires, we don't have insurance. We have to get our own insurance, right? And so, and there's no extra income. So it's better to do it now, I'm thinking. So, I can't even see this. Sorry. I had it right the first time, but I had my glasses on, so I couldn't see it correctly. But yeah. So we'll see, but it might be 6 to 8 weeks, which is okay, because then I'll just rent a scooter at the bridal thing and just scoot my butt around. Not a wheelchair, but a scooter, because I can function just fine, you know. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to be pushed around at all. So not at all. So I will do whatever it takes not to be pushed around. But yeah, and then Tim and I are January 1st. We started the no carbs, no sugar diet, basically, and to lose weight. And so far I've lost like six pounds or so, which is not bad considering I haven't been able to exercise, so it's just all eating. And I actually don't miss any of the junk. I actually don't, and so, which I'm grateful for, totally grateful for. If I want something sweet, we have like apples and peanut butter, or pineapple. So natural sugars. We're doing natural sugars because, you know, you can't get rid of sugars completely, but natural sugars are a little bit better than, you know, like having a cupcake. So yeah. But we're doing it, you guys. But poor Tim has been, oh, and then not only that, okay, you guys, so remember my little monster, my little Talwin, who's a pain in the butt? Yeah, she decided on Sunday to start pooping, but she pooped out blood and poop. And it was all kinds, like she was hemorrhaging. It was crazy. And so that was Sunday, and we're like, okay, we are not panic parents, because we've experienced a lot of stuff with this breed. We've experienced a lot. So I contacted, it's Sunday, but I contacted our friend who works in the with our doctor, and she's a really good friend, and so I showed her all the pictures and stuff, and so she was in contact with Doc, and he's like, okay, is she, you know, this, that? And we're like, no, she's eating, drinking, she's fine. She just pooped out a lot of blood. And he's like, okay, well, bring her in on Monday. And so it was like, okay, no problem. So we kept an eye on her. She wasn't like standing there and blood was coming out, or else we would have taken her to the ER. Not a problem. We don't mess around when it comes to them. And our two-legged children either, but you know, they have their own insurance. Yeah, so we don't mess around. There was no blood coming out of her butt like that. It only came out when she was bleeding, when she pooped. And so it was one of those, okay, well, and then she wasn't lethargic. She wasn't falling down. She wasn't doing any of those things. Look at my baby girl in her uniform. This is before, this is like to say you're gonna be. So she didn't have her badge or anything yet. And basically she got hired. And so so it was so cool. No, that was cool. But so anyways, back to the story of Talwin. So we were like, okay, so we had to go to San Jose. And when you drive to this town in San Jose, California, where we live in Hollister, there is it's where that doctor is, it's about an hour drive. Everywhere we go, we're a small town. We're still kind of a small town. So we don't have like Walmarts or Costco's or Michael's. We don't have anything here. We barely got a TJ Maxx. What that gets us, I have no clue. But, and we have a boot barn. Like, yeah, we need boots, right? I'm like, oh my gosh. So anyway, so this town has nothing. It has nothing fun, nothing good. And we have grocery stores up the yin yang. We have Chinese food places up the yin yang. Mexican foods like 101. It's just crazy Mexican food. And you know what? They're all busy. And it's like, holy smokes. So there is no variety of food here either. And so yeah, we just don't have anything fun. And so we have to drive out of town. All that to say, we have to drive out of town to get, you know, any fun things, to get good food, you know, that kind of thing. Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, all that stuff. And so we're used to driving. We've been driving our whole lives out of this town because of that. So driving 15, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour is not a big deal like it is to some people. It really isn't. It sucks, but it's, you know, it is what it is. And so, so we ended up, we're about an hour away on a no traffic day. When there's traffic, it is an hour and a half to get home from the doctor's. So it was afternoon. We knew that we were going to hit traffic, but so we have to come to our hometown, drove over there an hour and a half to get home, come home, pick up Talwin, pick up the poop, because they said keep her poop and put it in the fridge. Okay, so we did that. So we had to come back home, and then it was like, okay, well, Dory has a lump on her left breast, and so which is the other bully. And so can you see both Dory and Talwin at the same time? And my friend is like, yeah, just bring them in. So it was like, okay, so then we got to come home, sneak them two out of the house, and head on over to Los Banos, which is another hour drive out of our town. So in traffic. So it was like, okay, so that's fine. So we got them. We drove over, and of course it's busy, and this is more of an emergency than not. So he already has his appointments, you know, the doctor. So they're gonna fit us in. So you have to wait, you know, you have to be good and wait your turn. And so we waited about an hour or so, and it was then they got us in. He did a X-ray of her belly and everything, so she got an X-ray. So it was, you guys, my life for being like a housewife is chaotic. It is chaos personified. It really is. It's just crazy. And so, but this is Talwin. This is our little one who is sleeping on her dad's shoulder. But this is our little one who has birth defects and has bowel problems. She's the one who has to have enemas. Well, what ended up happening is that she has to get a medicated enema and a regular enema that, you know, you give humans. And so she was so backed up that it was an irritant. So she ended up getting an ulcer. So the ulcer is what basically a leaky gut, right? And so that's what ended up happening. Her blood wasn't staying in her colon, in her colon. Take this with a grain of salt, because, you know, there's a lot of stuff happening in my life, but it usually stays in your intestines. Well, instead there's an ulcer, so it like bursts. So now the blood is outside her body, which makes it a lot. So I made it come out of her butt as in poop. And so she has an ulcer, and she's on 5 medications, you guys. 5 literal medications that she has to take at least twice a day. And this little girl is so picky. She is one of those ones that, you know, it doesn't matter if it's in peanut butter, cheese, you shove it down her throat, nothing works. And so it's like, oh my God, of all of them to give 5 medications to, this is the worst one. And so, yeah, so this is, oh my gosh. Luckily, Tim was home yesterday. I am home alone today, you guys. I am home alone today, and I have to deal with all of this. And am I ready for it? You know what? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I have to buck it up, Buttercup. I am it. I am it. And so, yeah, so it's my job today. And oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, please take your medicine, because trying to get on the ground to try and shove this stuff down her throat is not the highlight of my day. It won't be the highlight of my day. So please just behave. Oh gosh, you guys, wish me luck. Think of me and just know that, you know, yeah, even housewives can have chaotic lives, even though they don't want to. I just want to quilt all day, peel all day, you know, things like that. So, but no. Oh my gosh, you guys, I tell you. So anyways, that is that is my life in a nutshell right there. Yeah, poopy, hemorrhagey blood coming out of my poor puppy's butt. That, oh wow, you guys, it looked horrible. But it's funny because Tim took pictures, because I'm laid up, you know, I'm on crutches and everything else, and I can't move fast. And so he took pictures to show me, and he saw, this is what our lives has become, pictures on our phone of poop. And I was like, well, as long as it's not human, I'm like, that would be weird. That I'm drawing the line at, honey. You self-analyze that on your own. I'm like, I don't want to know that one, please. No. So yeah, so that's, oh my God, that's our life in a nutshell right there. And so, and then but the pictures are the ones that I sent to our friend. So that's when she, you know, talking to Doc and stuff. It's great to be, in with the doc, to have an in with the doc, because he knows we live over here in Hollister and stuff, and that we can't, you know, get over there quick enough, you know, so he knows that and stuff. And he's not all about the money, which is nice, you know, because sometimes, you know, we have doctors here who will not see your animal, even if it's in distress. The horror stories over here is just, they're horror stories. They will not see an animal in distress, will not help them unless you pay up front. And, you know, this stuff does happen, and it's sad. It is so sad. And I'm like, that's what I mean about doctors and people in general. If you have no empathy, then why are you in this kind of business? It's just for the money. It really is. It's for the money, and they won't get mine, that's for sure. So, because that's just horrible, how you can let an animal suffer because you didn't get paid. Like, okay, yeah, I understand all the costs and everything else. I understand all that. But, you know, this animal is, you know, either euthanize it or something, you know, just, it's just, I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I just don't know what the option is, but seeing an animal hurt and a doctor not willing to fix it or even, you know, give it a painkiller or something, I'm like, oh my gosh. I just think it's horrible. I do. I mean, I wish I could save them all. I do. I wish I could save them all. And I wish I could, you know, help them all. I wish I could give, you know, the animal hospitals money so that they can, you know, help those people who can't help their animals even though they love them to death. I wish I could give extra to them to put towards the bill. All of this, you know, I would totally do it if we were millionaires. But I wouldn't be buying Porsches or anything like that. I would be, you know, helping them because they're the innocent in all of our lives. And, yeah, it's so sad. It's really, really sad. But anyways, so, oh my gosh, you guys. Isn't it crazy how life can go from like la 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 to wham. 100 miles an hour. Jeez. But I have one more of this year. I was trying to get back. I really was. I was trying to, but it was so painful to move, you guys. It's the first day that I've been actually able to move and not, and, you know, not be in too much pain. I don't take painkillers. I don't want to. I'm like, I don't need it. So, which, you know, it's fine. I don't need it. I don't want it. But I'm hoping I don't need it today because I've been pushing myself this morning. But because Tim's not home. So, oh my gosh, like I said, I gotta go figure out how to give Talwyn her medicine, and yeah, should be fun. Not. Said with so much sarcasm. I signed up for this though. I brought them home, right? So you deal with it. Barbara Haish and Denise Wright. I know I forgot you last time. I think I forgot you last time. Sorry. But thank you guys for leaving me comments. This thing has a tape on it. Or not a tape, but the actual material stayed on it. The plastic. We'll fudge it. Okay. Fudge, fudge, fudge. Okay, that is what, oh, I like it. It's so pretty. It's been a while since months and months ago that I did all these, so I don't remember what they look like, but I love it. I think it came out so pretty. It really did. So, yeah, so December 7th is her wedding this year. And then second week is her birthday, and then third week is Christmas. And then I think we might be going on their honeymoon with them. That's how close we are. Not in the same rooms and anything like that. But I'm like, can we go to Shanghai Disney? So we're inviting ourselves with them. So it's too funny. I love these kids so much, and we get along great, you guys. We're pretty good friends, and then family, and it's just been amazing. The man she chose and the man who chose her, just they're getting along great. We're fitting. We really are. We're fitting, and it's just great. It's great. And yeah, I can't ask for a better life, you guys. I'm grateful for the life I lead. I'm grateful for everything that I have. Just grateful. I cannot. It's humbling when I hear stories of other people, and even my own story with my in-laws and my mom's in-laws, you know. So it's very humbling to have this relationship with Matt It really is. And his parents too were actually, they were here for Christmas, and they were here for breakfast and dinner, and we were laughing and we were getting along great. And so it's been amazing. So yeah, so very grateful. Awesome. This year will be great too with you guys, I tell ya. All right, guys, one more layout for 2022. All right, guys, love you guys. We'll see y'all later. Bye.